I say, stand up. You go, stand up. Do it. Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand down.
Stand down.
Chicago is a union town. Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand down.
Stand down. Chicago is a union town. Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand down.
Get down. Chicago is a union town. But I'm telling you people, the person who runs this building and the person who is the mayor of Chicago forgot their labor history. They did not realize we were not going to take it anymore, and they had to come to a conclusion that we were actually a strike threat. And how did we get 29,000 educators in the street? 29,000 people had their own individual reasons and their own stories. What the press will say to you is, oh, we are getting mixed messages. Everybody is saying something different. Why doesn't Karen Lewis have control of our people? We have a democratic union. We have a union where teachers have their own voice. And this happened because we have new leadership in the Chicago Union from the caucus of rank and file educators, and we believe in things that are more than just ourselves. We believe in things that are more than just a contract. And you know what? When you believe in things that are more than just yourselves, and when you fight for the students you love dearly, you go out in the street and you say, no, Rahm Emanuel. No, no, no. And one of my favorite chants was, hey, hey, ho, ho, this ain't about the dough. Because part of the rhetoric was greedy teachers. What John Barrett and I serve on the National Committee for Organizing for CORE. And we get phone calls from all of you. I think I've spoken to every single one of you personally. And you have asked us, how did you do it and how can we do it? And we always say, we can't tell you how to do it. We aren't Broad. We are not going to write the handbook of how to strike. But what we will do is we'll tell you our context and we will tell you our stories. And so today I bring you the case study of my school, Nettlehorse School in Lakeview, the part of Chicago called Lakeview. My kids from my school feed into Lakeview High School, which would be the high school that Rahm Emanuel would send his children if he so deemed that Chicago public schools were appropriate for them. And my school is a wonderful place. It's a place of white privilege. Most of my students are upper middle class, and we only have one African American educator on our faculty. But I tell you this story because we keep saying, how do we activate others? And at my school, we went from less than a handful of unionists to 100% strike vote and 100% of teachers out on the picket line. When we teach in one of the most easy places in Chicago to teach, we're resourced, our kids do well on the tests, we have what everybody would say the dream. When you get hired at Nettlehorse School, you feel you've won the job prize. How did we get to the point where we were mad enough about what was happening to our brothers and sisters to risk our jobs and go out on the street and strike? I think this is a compelling story to tell. Let's talk about context first, though. In our context, we have a mayor who's very easy to hate. Have you noticed that? And from some of you New Yorkers I've spoken to this weekend, we share that context. We're good on that one. And I knew things were bad when we were walking down Washington and there was a toddler being towed along in his wagon, and he's holding a sign going, hey, hey, ho, ho, Rahm Emanuel's got to go. Now, I don't know a lot about political elections. I've never run for office, but I think when you've lost toddler support, things are looking kind of bad. And the other context that we have is that we refuse to have our salaries attached to test scores. And I think it's an important part for us to know our contract is not perfect, but it was a huge fight to not have merit pay attached to test scores. And it was a fight that united us, gave us strength, and gave us power. The other part about my specific context is parents started believing the narrative about greedy teachers. They really started telling each other. They even blogged about it in the Huffington Post, and they were very vocal and angry with us. They thought we were going home at 3 o'clock at night. They thought that we had 3 months off in the summer where we didn't think about kids at all. And all of us here as educators know how much we restore ourselves in the summer and how much we become better teachers through the cycle of schooling, and how much our kids need to go away from us for a period of time and be something other than school. So